They say if home is where the heart is, then the kitchen is its soul, and love can last forever if you let it grow. A picture paints 1,000 words. That's pretty much our goal in this little endeavor we call the Mitzi's Kitchen Show.
Hi there, welcome back to Mitzi's Kitchen, or if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to Mitzi's Kitchen. A good friend of Wade's asked if we would do a simple one-dish meal, and I can't think of anything more simple than beef stew. So as you can see, we're going to do it two ways. We have our vegetarian soy product. It's soy plus some other grains. And it's already chunked up. It looks like it's cooked up, and it actually is fully cooked. We're just going to heat it up in some oil and brown it a little bit more. We're going to put some flour on this and dredge it a little bit. I have oil heating in our pans here. This is just stew meat. You can buy it already cut up at the grocery store in the right sizes. It's like 1.5 to 2 inches. 1.5 to 2 inch chunks. So anyway, get your hands in here. You have to be kind of gentle with this stuff so it doesn't fall apart. And just work it into this flour a little bit so you have everything kind of nicely coated there. We always do the vegetarian first, so we don't contaminate it with our meat product. I'm going to bring it right over here and drop it into our hot oil. Just barely hear a sizzle there. We just want this to brown on all sides. We'll stir it up a little bit here pretty soon. And after we get it brown, we're going to leave it in the same pan. We're going to add some vegetable broth to this one, probably 2 to 3 cups. And a little bit of beef stew seasoning mix. It's a packaged mix that I've added a little Beaumont seasoning to. And we'll let that cook this one for probably 20 to 30 minutes since it's basically already a pre-cooked product. Okay, we have those going. I'm going to turn this heat down a little bit here. We don't want to burn it. I'll get rid of this bowl. And over here to our beef. This is about 2 pounds of stew meat. Just get right in there and mix it up. There's no need to trim this. It's already, there's some fat on it, but most of the fat has already been trimmed off. So you've got a pretty lean cut here. Okay, and then we're just going to drop this right here into our other pan with the hot oil. And I've got about 2 tablespoons of oil in each one of these. Some of these bigger chunks will cook down quite a bit, so they will be manageable once you go to eat this. And that will break up a little bit more once it starts to cook. Okay, and we're going to bump this temperature down just a notch. Wash my hands. Try to get all this flour mixture off of here. Okay. These are starting to brown already. So we'll give them a little stir. Make sure that we're getting all that flour cooked so we don't have a floury taste. Okay, let's go over here to the beef side, give these a little bit of a stir, kind of even them out in the pot here where I've got them a little stacked up. Try to get them all so they have a little bit of the heated surface of the pan on them. Okay, we're going to let those brown up for a few minutes. When we come back, we're going to be adding our liquids to it, and we have some salt and some of the beef stew seasoning mix. So we'll be back in just a few minutes to show you the middle part of this recipe. We have our beef and our fake beef nicely brown now. We're going to add our other ingredients, or some of them. On the vegetarian side, I'm going to add a little salt. This is probably a little less than a teaspoon. And some of the beef stew seasoning mix. We'll do the same on the beef. We have about twice as much beef, so I'm using about twice as much salt and almost twice as much of the beef stew seasoning mix. So just sprinkle that around. Now you can use water in this. A lot of people do use water. I like a little more flavor to mine, so I use a broth. So over here I'm using a vegetable broth, of course, since this is a vegetarian dish. We're going to just turn our heat up a little bit on this, to about a medium high, just to get it up to a boil. And then we're going to reduce the heat and let this simmer for, probably 20-30 minutes. We'll give it a little stir to break everything loose. And just leave that there to cook away for a while. Over here, we're going to do the same thing, but I'm using beef broth. And, 3 to 4 cups. I think I'll put the whole thing in. I don't think it's going to hurt at all. Have plenty of juice that way. Okay, now, stir that around a little bit. Kind of loosen everything up from the sides. That's where all the good stuff is. All the good flavor anyway. And on the bottom, of course. So we'll bring that up to a boil. And just let it do its own thing. Now this the beef, it takes about 2 hours. So it's not a quick meal, but it's certainly well worth it. Then when we come back, I'll have my vegetables all prepped. What we have here, we have onions, carrots, potatoes. These carrot-like whitish yellow things are parsnips, and we have rutabagas. So we'll be adding all of these to our mixture when we come back, and we'll finish this stew. Until then, we'll see you. Our meat is fully cooked now. We're going to add our vegetables. We'll start out with our vegetarian side. Everything is cut close to the same size, so they're all going to cook pretty much at the same time. Just kind of mix those in there a little bit. Of course, it's not boiling now because we lowered the temperature just now by adding these, so we'll turn that up just a hair. We'll turn this up just a hair. Add the rest of our vegetables here. Stir it in a little bit. There you have it. We're going to cover this back up and let it saute for about 45 minutes, and we will have stew. Everybody knows how to serve stew. Just use a large bowl or a plate with a high rim. Dish it up. We also have a loaf of sourdough bread you can buy almost any place. It's just a bacon serve. We have City Sour here from Portland, and we'll just heat that up, serve it with our stew, and there you have it, 2 ways. Thanks for being with us.